Next question, I managed to cut the name off this, so sorry whoever's name it was that sent me this. Best exercises to protect back, enhance sprinting when healed. So it depends. That's quite an open-ended question because it depends what your problem is. So, someone who's got, instability versus mobility issues, it might be a slightly different approach for them. But as a general idea, again, a good basis for most is get a foundation with the McGill Big 3, get a foundation with basic glute control, so glute bridges, for example, and some sort of clam or external rotation variation is going to help keep your knees stable and keep your hips stable. And then we might need a bit of skill transference. So we'll do the bigger movements again, eventually, because if you're trying to get into sprinting, you want to do some single leg work, so maybe things like step-ups, reverse lunges to get that basic skill. But then you're going to need some sort of skill transference, particularly if you've got somebody who's got instability. We need to make sure that core kind of is tuned to the activity you need to do that kind of like pulsing. So as you kind of strike with each foot into the ground, there's a sort of pulse to give you something stable to actually pull yourself along with and keep your back protected. So get the basics in control, restore the hips with glute control. Again, that will help the hammies from being too tight. And then skill transference if you need it for that kind of tuned stability. So a good way to look at that is things like proprioception walks, and then sort of superset that either with something like skipping, maybe basic, then running, and then eventually doing it with maybe even sprinting. So those proprioception walks that kind of overstimulate proprioceptive system to be aware of where you are in space and time is a good way to make your body suddenly aware that it's got errors while it's trying to do the task that you want to get back to. So in this case, sprinting. So again, you may start, superset of proprioceptive walks, and then kind of combine that with skipping, just so you get that kind of initial rhythmic skill with the core, and then you can eventually progress it back into running and then into sprinting. So you've got a bit of a sort of a transference period from pure rehab back into specific skills that you need for the sport that you're trying to do. So again, overall it depends, but as a rough idea, it's probably going to be something like that, so long as you've got those fundamentals in place to begin with.